Okay, this is the lesson from shoulder strike to white crane spreads wings. I'll do it facing a couple different directions. Okay, so what's happening in this move? As you recall from shoulder strike, you're in a 70-30 that doesn't have shoulder width and doesn't square the hips. Your feet are at 90 degrees from one another. So now you're going to shift all the weight into the right leg. As you do that, your arms start spreading like wings. And your left foot steps in, resting on the ball, and no weight. The 2 feet make an L, not a T. So from a 70-30, 100% into your right leg, final posture, still 100% in your right leg. A couple things to pay attention to. One is the right knee. So when I start out here in the 70-30 and shift into 100%, I want to make sure that the knee of the right foot goes directly over the toes, not inside a little bit. So connect to the bottom of your foot, feel the tripod and the bubbling well, and as you shift, make sure that those 3 points remain in contact. Notice that when you finish, the knee should still be over the toe. Your dantian will be wherever it needs to be. Don't force your dantian somewhere and have this happen to your leg. Keep the knee in place. The turn happens in the hip joint, and there's not that much turn, so don't worry about it. You do want the end posture to be frontal. So even though I'm not squared to the front, my attention is toward the front. My dantian is not. I'm not, turning my head in a tight twist, but I want to have awareness toward the front. Some other things to pay attention to. The way these arms expand is like spreading wings. So your right arm comes up and the left arm goes down. Notice that as your arms come up, they want to rotate to keep from having tension in the arms. If you do this with me and you bring your arms up, somewhere around here is like a classic ward off. If you keep bringing them up, if you don't let the arms change, it will create a bunch of tension. So as your arms come past the center of your chest, allow them to rotate to come up, and then you will still have a soft, open feeling in your arm. Now, we don't want to use the shoulder to bring the arm up. So I'm not doing this, lifting it, but when your hand and your elbow come higher than your shoulder, it is going to change the way your shoulder moves. The thing you don't want to do is lift the whole structure. Your scapula should not get lifted up, but instead it should stay down as the arm comes up. The arm's going to make a triangle of sorts. So Don't feel like you have to just hold it down here like this in order to keep the weighted elbow. The weighted elbow can still be active in a position like this. Your hand is protecting the temple, the right side of your head, and it's a good distance apart. You can, spread your hand and stick it up here over your eyebrow and get it about that far apart. That's about the right place. If you're too close, it is no protection. If something comes at you, you're just going to be hit by it. If it's too far away, something can hit you without actually impacting this arm. So you want to get this arm in the right place so that if something comes here, you can send it away. You can intercept it and send it in a different direction. So back to the move. Sink into the right leg. That will turn you ever so slightly to the right, and then you finish coming up. So notice, I'm not doing this. Turn to the right, turn to the left. It's a passive turn because the top of your leg is a ball. So when you shift into your right leg, there's a little bit of rotation. You get under your arms in that moment, and then let the hands keep coming up. Notice that the left leg is kind of getting stretched a little bit passively. I'm moving further away from it. Here it's flat on the ground. As I keep shifting, I'm kind of losing the heel, but the toe is still connected. And that's making a bit of stretchiness in the back leg, so that, or the left leg, it's about to be the front leg, so that when I turn, there's a moment that it releases and lands in the L. So one more time. Sink, turn. Everything should arrive at the same time. White crane spreads wings.